So, the topic we're going to be discussing today is Mr. Poopy Butthole. I know I haven't made a video in a long time, but here we're getting back on track. Now, ever since I started watching Rick and Morty, season 1 and season 2, I haven't done season 2 review yet, but I'm getting on that. Season 1, Mr. Poopy Butthole wasn't on it. Season 2, he popped up at the first 3 episodes. I think on the third episode he popped up, and then we didn't see him again until the last episode. Now, this guy, Mr. Poopy Butthole, is a strange character. Ever since I first saw him and his role in the episode Total Recall, it just wasn't making sense to me. I saw a theory. We're gonna discuss that in a minute. I saw a theory about where Mr. Poopy Butthole really came from. I haven't really talked to anyone about this, but this video may come off confusing. But please listen and think about it, and let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. I'm just putting my thoughts out here. One of the main reasons why I decided to start YouTube was to put my ideas out there to get different people perspective on certain topic that doesn't make sense to me, or it's hard for me to make sense. So let's get into it. Mr. Poopy Butthole. Gonna be reading from the Rick and Morty wikis just so we don't get things confused. So let's get into it. Mr. Poopy Butthole is a very good friend to the Smith, and although his exact relation to them is unknown, he is described as a longtime friend of the family. He's known to have accompanied Rick and Morty on multiple adventures, as well as experienced many great moments with the rest of the family. He is such a fond person of the Smith that Beth can't recall a single bad moment about him. Continuing. Mr. Poopy Butthole first appeared in episode Total Recall, which I think is a play on words from the movie Total Recall. But continuing. Where he was visiting the Smith family when alien parasites started inserting fictitious good memories into their minds in an attempt to take over the world. The episode starts off with everyone just basically having purely good memories, but they're all lies. Implanted in their minds by the parasite. Because the parasite want to eventually get out and take over the world. But Rick placed a hold on this by putting down the barriers on the home. But sidetracking for a minute. Let's get back into it. Along with the rest of the family, Mr. Poopy Butthole had to help the family figure out which new family friends were real and which ones were fake. Morty realizes that the alien parasite could only implant good memories into a person's mind. So every family member who had no negative memories affiliated with them was killed. I think this episode was probably my third favorite out of season 2. I especially love how Morty was like, he isn't gonna kill the parasite in front of Pencil Vester. But again, sidetracked him. This results in Beth Smith silently questioning whether or not Mr. Poopy Butthole is actually one of the many parasites that made them believe they were longtime friends, which I can completely agree with Beth's decision, and whatever she did, I completely agree with it. Continue. Beth pulls out one of Rick's laser guns and shoots Mr. Poopy Butthole in the chest, blasting him across the room into the wall. The rest of the family panic, and Beth retreats into the kitchen and haphazardly pours a glass of wine with eyes filled with tears as Mr. Poopy Butthole waits in ambulance while bleeding heavily. And after the credit scene, we see Mr. Poopy Butthole is shown slowly recovering inside the hospital after telling the doctor that he no longer wishes to see the Smith. This point in time, the doctor tells Beth that he's sorry that they never had bad memories. So, between everything that I just read you guys and what I'm about to tell you guys, my personal opinion on Mr. Poopy Butthole, without further ado, let's get into it again. Again, my thoughts. They had no bad memories of Mr. Poopy Butthole, and I just think that Mr. Poopy Butthole was just something that was just inserted just for that purpose of the episode, or just for fan purposes. Because again, we didn't see him until the last episode of season 2, where after the after credit scenes, where we saw him, which he was basically talking to the viewers as if he was sitting in the viewer's position watching the same episode that we watch, which was clever, by the way. Um, Again, yeah, he just popped in and out. But Rick was the one person that acknowledged and was on Mr. Poopy Butthole's side the whole episode, because he wrote down the number 6 on a sheet of paper and was like, the 6 of us we know for a fact are real. Beth, Jerry, Rick, Morty, um, Summer, and Mr. Poopy Butthole. Don't know where he came from. Someone created a theory saying that from episode 2, with the Blitz and Chips episode, Rick and Morty got the Jerry's mixed up. So meanwhile, while we were looking off screen, the creators swapped Rick's, which I'm gonna try and debunk. All right. There was a theory that from that the Rick was from a different universe, because when they all went to drop off Jerry's and they went to pick him up, they got a little confused, and we were basically paying attention to the wrong Rick and Morty at that time. Which I would say, if it's true, it was clever, but I don't think that that's what happened, because why would the creators basically do something under the table like that? And everyone besides Beth remember Mr. Poopy Butthole. Why would we get 2 Ricks? It doesn't make sense. Again, it doesn't make sense. I know it's going to sound confusing, but bear with me. No one had a bad memory. Here is where Mr. Poopy Butthole, where's the evidence goes in Mr. Poopy Butthole's favor. No one had a bad memory of Mr. Poopy Butthole until Beth shot her. So there's one. It account for it. Mr. Poopy Butthole is account for him. But does that count as a bad memory? Think about that. Now, I think that's about it. I definitely don't think that Mr. Poopy Butthole is like how can I say it? In that episode, they want to make him seem like a main character, but I don't think that he is a main character. I just thought that he was just playing along with the characters for that purpose of that episode only, no other episodes. I think that's about it. Yeah, I think that's about it. But yeah, Mr. Poopy Butthole. Don't know where the guy came from. Don't know where he be. He just popped up and disappeared. But obviously Rick knows something that we don't. So again, it's a secret that Rick knows that we don't. We as the watchers, the viewers, don't know or don't have a clue towards. Let me know what you guys think. Where Mr. Poopy Butthole came from. What do you guys think his goals are? Again, I don't have a clue. I just did this video to see if I can make sense out of it, and to me, the only sense that I could get out of this is, again, he was just a character placed in for that exact episode and that episode only. That's it. That's it. But other than that, guys, thanks for watching.